Hey everyone, John Henry from School of Trade. Today we're going to be taking a look at a short trade on the euro, all the way back down again, really just kind of looking for this next push down to go at around 1.1633 or so for the first target. We're going to stack the second target right here, 1599. We'll go to 1602, just ahead of that 1600 number. So everything looking really, really solid to the downside on the euro. If we zoom out a little bit here, we can see this is kind of counter trend, right? We've been seeing this rise higher all morning. The euro's been very, very powerful, and that goes for pretty much all the markets. We've been seeing them just pure parabolic. When they pick a direction this morning, they didn't stop. The S&P's getting hammered, crude oil getting hammered. They're bouncing a little bit now, and we're seeing that corrective nature come and take place. And we're seeing that same sentiment on the euro. We saw them fail the highs a little bit earlier back here at 937, and they pushed right back under the BMT, and now they're setting up a wave pattern to the downside. Now, because this is counter trend, we're not looking for a massive runner, right? That's not what we're going for. But we do want to be cognizant of the fact that we're going to take some profit off a little bit earlier, and if it wants to continue, then we can look for maybe a little bit of an extended target. But we're not looking for this thing to reclaim this whole move up. It's just not going to happen, at least not right now, right? So we're looking for a quick little scalp back to the downside. You may be able to milk a little bit more out of it, but outside of that, everything looking really good to the downside. Beautiful wave pattern short coming right into the trigger zone. Exact reaction right out of it. The only thing that we have that might be a little bit of a concern is the fact that, well, we've got the BMT right in the way. But given that we're seeing every other market kind of take profit from where they have been already, we're seeing quite a drastic turnaround in some of these other markets. We're expecting the same thing for this one. So we're just waiting to see if we can get that push down. We're seeing an immediate reaction right to the downside. First target coming off at 1633, and then looking for the farther target down ahead of that big 1600 level. We don't want to play around with that century mark there, and just looking for 1602. All right, continuing to see that bear pressure coming in here on the euro, still getting hammered to the downside. We really haven't even turned back, and now even better, we're crossing down in the clouds. So we're getting a nice push down here, and we're seeing a cross kind of confirming this downward movement, not that we didn't already expect it. So still seeing this downward pressure coming in, looking for our first target down here at 1633. And as you can see, this down movement, we've got a lot of profit built into this, right? We're taking two contracts off at 33 ticks, right? So that's 66 just by itself. Plus, if we do get that final runner down to 1602, we're looking to lock in 64 by two more, right? So 64 and 64. It's 194 ticks total with only four contracts. We're looking at a massive move to the downside. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the euro ticks at 1250 a tick. We're coming close to our target, by the way. So 194 at 1250, that's 24.25 in an overall profit. So we're sitting in a possibly just massive position. Just need to see it kind of continue back down. Whoops. So we've got that first target filled. Because we've got that first target filled, we're seeing continuation to the downside. We can lock our stop in a little bit closer here. Now it's at +1 right now. We are up, 30 ticks, right? So you could get a little bit more aggressive and trail along with the cloud. We talk about that every once in a while, where you really don't want to see price come breaching back through the other side of the cloud in a nice down movement. So because of that, we could just lock it into 1655. That way, if it does come back and stop us out, our stop is still in a logical place, but we lock in 20 more ticks for the two contracts. So it basically just allows us to get a little bit more out of the move than we might otherwise make. But outside of that, still looking beautiful to the downside. Everything looking great. We have a perfect wave. We've got our first target taken out. Just need to wait to see if it wants to continue back to the downside and get that next target at 1602. The big magnet area is going to be the 1600 level. And if we zoom out a little bit, there could even possibly be a major swing back up to the upside, right? If we drop a big old wave pattern, we could be looking all the way down to 1571 for this push lower. Definitely something to consider, but we're taking our profit far ahead of that level at 1602. So not really going to get in the way, but definitely something to keep an eye on. So overall, just need to kind of sit on hands and see if it wants to continue falling. 1602, the next target area. All right, continuing to see heavy bearishness coming into the euro. We're quite a ways down now. We want to stick with this cloud, but as we get closer, right there, we came one tick away. So we want to lock in nice and tight. We don't want to see this bounce on us. Our target's down here at 1602. We came to 1603. We don't want to give anything back at this point. So now, even if it stops us out, we still pull in 54 ticks. Yep, and there we go. We got our target filled. Beautiful move to the downside. Huge selling pressure coming in on the euro after that big, massive rally to the upside. This day started out with a gargantuan rise to the upside. If you look from even where Sunday opened up, that low all the way up to the high, they pulled in 346 or so ticks all the way on that ride higher, back above 1700 for a little while. And now we're dipping back down a little bit after assumed profit taking after that big of a rise higher. So we're riding it all the way back down, and we did. We pulled in 33 ticks at 2 contracts on the first one, 64 ticks on the second one. That locks in 194 ticks overall, and that gives us $2,425 on only 4 contracts. Definitely not going to be upset by that. So that's going to do it. Beautiful wave pattern short, picture-perfect example of what you really want to see for a wave pattern. If you have any questions about it, feel free to send an email to School of Trade. Don't forget to check out our trial at schooloftrade.com. Have a good one. Bye.